Girl was just about to sit down to eat when her mother grabbed her by the hair. Right after, she was dragged mercilessly into the basement. Then her mother first sprinkled ash all over her daughter's body and picked up a bell to start chanting an exorcism spell at her. Once everything was done, her mother grabbed a willow branch and began wildly whipping her daughter. No matter how the girl begged for mercy, her mother showed no intention of stopping. It wasn't until Lisa was beaten until she twitched all over and was barely breathing that her mother finally stopped. However, when she stepped forward to check if the exorcism had worked, she sensed that the evil spirit hadn't left. It had grown even more vicious. Later, after doing some calculations, her mother figured out that the feng shui of this house couldn't suppress the evil spirit, so she gathered up all the talismans and ritual objects and decided to sell the house and move to a place with perfect feng shui. As for the bruised and battered Lisa, because of her mother's heavy brainwashing, she believed she would bring disaster and never dared to leave the house. The only thing she could do was call her neighbor Anna to vent. But that day, the call Lisa made was answered by a different girl. At first, she thought she had dialed the wrong number, yet for several days in a row, every call Lisa made was picked up by Lucy. After talking for a while, they realized they lived at the exact same address, and the layout of their houses was exactly the same. The only difference was that Lisa's house had a basement. Later, after Lucy broke open the passageway Lisa had described, she actually found a pitch-black staircase. Summoning her courage, Lucy went down to the basement and found only a dust-covered box. Inside were some feng shui master's tools and a diary that recorded all the torment Lisa had suffered at her mother's hands. Then she found a photo of Lisa. The date on the photo and the dates in the diary were both from 1999. Even more outrageous, when Lisa called the next day asking for help, the story she told matched the diary word for word. Meanwhile, the feng shui master mother was trying to drive the evil spirit out of Lisa using a torch. Hearing this, Lucy suddenly remembered that a few days earlier she'd noticed her cell phone was missing, so she dug out the old landline at home. From then on, she kept getting calls from Lisa. Putting together the diary, Lisa's recent distress call, and the fact that they lived at the same address, she concluded that Lisa, living in 1999, had somehow called Lucy, who was in 2019. At first, Lisa didn't believe such a ridiculous claim, but the next day, she saw breaking news on TV about a plane crash that Lucy had predicted, which made Lisa believe it completely right away. After that, they not only became best friends who told each other everything, but their backstories were also very similar. Both had lost their fathers when they were kids. Back then, Lucy's father had bought this house, but before they could move in, a gas leak caused an explosion. Her father died protecting Lucy on the spot. 8-year-old Lucy ended up with burns on her leg, while her mom, who was out grocery shopping, came away completely unharmed. Yet as the two were sharing their troubles, Lisa's mother suddenly knocked on the door. When she went out to check, she learned it was the real estate agent showing Lucy's family the house. Lisa stepped forward and said hello to 8-year-old Lucy, then spoke to Lucy on the phone again. When she heard her father's voice, she was so overcome she burst into tears. But before Lucy could say anything, Lisa decided to help save her father. The next day, Lisa slipped out while her mother was busy feeding the chickens. When she got to Lucy's house, sure enough, the stove was still on. As the door lock clicked, Lucy, who was in 2019, immediately experienced drastic changes. First she saw her missing cell phone appear out of nowhere. Then the burn on her leg vanished. Since Lucy's father was still alive, that meant their financial situation had changed. Not only did they redo the interior decor, Lucy also became a lot more fashionable. Even her mom, who'd been sick in the hospital, now looked glowing. However, because little Lucy now had her family around, she ended up neglecting her friendship with Lisa. Lisa later tried calling several times, but Lucy didn't answer any of them. This made Lisa really mad. Lucy was off living a happy life over there, while she herself was still forced by her mother to swallow dozens of kinds of herbs every day. One day, when Lucy finally answered the phone, Lisa immediately accused her of being ungrateful. Wanting to repay Lisa's kindness, Lucy searched online for Lisa's situation and found a news report saying Lisa would be killed by her mother the next day. It also said the feng shui master wasn't Lisa's birth mother at all, she was her adoptive mother. Since the cross-time calls could only come from Lisa's side, Lucy could only wait in silence. Fortunately, Lisa called again the next day and learned from Lucy's account that she was about to face mortal danger. At the same time, the adoptive mother went to the supermarket next door and found Anna huddled in a corner. Learning that Lisa had burned Anna's left leg, in the adoptive mother's view, the evil spirit inside Lisa was already out of control. If they didn't stop it, it would soon lead to slaughter. So that night, after Lisa fell asleep, the adoptive mother resolutely took a dagger from the fish tank, went into Lisa's room, and stabbed wildly at the bedding. When she realized something was wrong, Lisa was already behind her holding a fire extinguisher. Then Lisa picked up the dagger from the floor, pressed her adoptive mother to the ground, and completed the counter kill. Strangely, though, Lisa didn't feel scared or uneasy about the killing.